Have you ever wondered how a quiet garden becomes full of fruits and flowers without anyone planting them? Every day, an invisible process is happening all around us, one that keeps forests alive, feeds animals, and fills our plates with food. This is pollination, and today we're uncovering the magic behind it. At first glance, plants seem still, but they're part of a busy living system. Inside every flower are tiny structures that make pollen and others that receive it. Pollination happens when pollen moves from one flower to another, allowing plants to create seeds. Without this, most plants we know wouldn't exist. Nature has incredible partners to make this happen. Bees, butterflies, birds, bats, and even the wind act as messengers. When a bee visits a flower for nectar, pollen sticks to its body, and a life-giving exchange
of pollen into the creation of new life. This stage, known as fertilization, is where the real power of plant reproduction unfolds after pollen lands on the receptive part of a flower. It does not remain on the surface, instead it begins a microscopic journey, growing a pollen tube that travels deep into the flower toward the ovule. This movement happens out of sight, yet it is one of the most precise biological processes in nature, carrying genetic information with a single purpose: to unite with the egg cell. When this union occurs, fertilization is complete, and the blueprint for a new plant is formed. From this moment forward, the flower is no longer just a flower, it becomes a nursery. Seeds begin to develop, each one containing the instructions for growth, survival, and adaptation. These seeds are living packages designed to protect the next generation until conditions are right for growth. Some are wrapped in fleshy fruits, others are enclosed in hard shells or lightweight casings that allow them to travel. The diversity of seeds found across ecosystems is a direct result of fertilization strategies shaped by environment, climate, and survival needs. What may seem like a simple apple or grain of rice is actually the final product of a complex reproductive journey that began with pollination. Fertilization also determines the quality and quantity of seeds a plant produces. Successful fertilization can result in strong, viable seeds, capable of surviving harsh conditions, while incomplete or failed fertilization leads to weak or absent seed development. This directly affects plant populations, agricultural yields, and ecosystem stability. In farming systems, fertilization influences fruit size, shape, and nutritional value, making it a critical factor in food production. The difference between a healthy harvest and crop failure often depends on how effectively fertilization follows pollination. One of the most fascinating aspects of fertilization is how it promotes genetic variation. When pollen from one plant fertilizes another, the resulting seed carries a mix of traits from both parents. This variation allows plants to respond to changing environments, resist pests, and adapt to new conditions. Over time, fertilization drives evolution, shaping plant species across generations. Without this genetic mixing, plants would become vulnerable, and ecosystems would lose resilience. Seed formation also sets the stage for dispersal, another silent strategy of survival. Some seeds are carried by wind, others by water, animals, or gravity. Each dispersal method is linked back to the success of fertilization, ensuring that new plants can colonize new areas and maintain population balance. From towering forests to small garden beds, every plant community owes its existence to this hidden sequence of events. Fertilization transforms pollination from a momentary interaction into a lasting impact. It is the bridge between the present and the future, ensuring continuity, life, and renewal across landscapes, whether producing fruits that feed animals and humans or seeds that restore ecosystems. Fertilization is the quiet force that turns flowers into forests and moments into generations. Pollination is far more than a biological process limited to individual plants. It is a powerful connector that links entire ecosystems and sustains complex food chains across the planet. When pollen moves from flower to flower, it sets off a chain reaction that influences everything from soil health to animal populations. Plants that successfully reproduce through pollination form the base of terrestrial food webs, providing energy and nutrients that support herbivores, predators, and decomposers alike. Without this initial step, the flow of energy through ecosystems would slow and eventually break down. Flowering plants are primary producers, meaning they convert sunlight into food through photosynthesis. Pollination ensures that these producers continue to exist and renew themselves year after year. Herbivores, such as insects, mammals, and birds, rely on pollinated plants for fruits, seeds, leaves, and nectar. When these animals feed they transfer energy upward through the food chain to carnivores and omnivores. In this way, pollination indirectly supports animals that may never come into direct contact with flowers, yet depend on them for survival. The absence of pollination would reduce plant diversity, leading to fewer food sources and less stable ecosystems. The influence of pollination also extends to habitat formation. Trees, shrubs, and grasses created through successful plant reproduction shape landscapes by providing shelter, nesting sites, and protection for countless species. Forests, wetlands, and grasslands all depend on pollinated plants to maintain their structure and function. A decline in pollination can lead to habitat loss, which in turn affects species that rely on those environments. This cascading effect shows how deeply interconnected ecosystems are, and how a disruption at the plant level can ripple outward, affecting entire communities. Pollination also plays a critical role in maintaining biodiversity. By enabling cross-fertilization between different plants, it increases genetic diversity within plant populations. This diversity allows ecosystems to better withstand disturbances, such as disease, climate shifts, and invasive species. Diverse plant communities support a wider range of animals, microorganisms, and ecological interactions, strengthening overall ecosystem resilience. When pollination declines, ecosystems become simpler and more fragile, increasing the risk of collapse. Human food systems are also embedded within these natural connections. Many of the crops that form the basis of human diets rely on pollination directly or indirectly. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and oils all originate from pollinated plants, and livestock depend on pollinated crops for feed. This means that pollination supports not only natural food chains but also global agriculture, economies, and nutrition. The stability of human societies is therefore closely tied to the health of pollination systems. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of pollination is how quietly it holds ecosystems together. It operates continuously across seasons and landscapes, often unnoticed yet essential for balance and continuity. Pollination reminds us that no species exists in isolation, and that the survival of ecosystems depends on countless small interactions working together to sustain life on Earth.